Thiago Reginato is a 25-year-old Brazilian artist who focuses on the use of calligraphy and hand lettering in his work. Thiago has a degree in visual design with an emphasis on marketing from a school called ESPM, which stands for School of Higher Education in Advertising and Marketing. In interviews, Reginato cites a teacher in college, Andrea White, with first exposing him to the world of calligraphy. He saw a poster created by White and became so enthralled with the work that he began to take several classes in calligraphy and lettering. In terms of inspiration, Reginato turns to his inner feelings and thoughts. His work has a joyous tone which reflects his interest in positive energy and love. His work is varied. The styles are eclectic, and in his own words, "I'd rather be a common tree with a super eclectic ecosystem than a strong and tall pine tree that only does one thing well." You can see the elegance of calligraphy in his work with its fine hairline upstrokes and thicker downstrokes. You can also see the influences of different cultures in the formation of his letters. If you go to Behance's website and you're looking up work by Thiago Reginato, oftentimes you'll see a combination of his calligraphy and his hand lettering entitled Tipo Kali. The name itself really refers to a mix of hand lettering and calligraphy and was developed really in the years that he was leaving the university and starting on his own. Tipo Kali is really a project-based idea where he has used it for workshops to teach. He's also used it for his own projects. It's really an experimental line that has led him into his current line of work. I find this image of Reginato's sketchbook to be particularly intriguing. Whenever he is asked what he considers to be his most valuable tool, inevitably this is what he references. I think you can see from the detail exactly how much practice goes into the art of hand lettering and calligraphy. This image of Reginato's studio wall shows the breadth of his capabilities as both hand letterer and artist. Clearly, he is maintaining his reputation as a tree with an eclectic ecosystem, as I quoted previously. But my takeaway is that he has a fundamental understanding of letter formation. To create this much variation in a body of work is impressive. I always love to glean information from artists with similar interests. Calligraphiti is one of the books that Reginato mentions as a regular reference. Hand to Type is another one that I find rather intriguing. And finally, The Art of Calligraphy, a practical guide by David Harris. Reginato is creative partner in what could be the English translation of Machinery Laboratory. Machinery Laboratory came out of his time at the ESPM. Along with two of his friends, Cindy Nakashima and Bruno Scodeler, Machinery is multidisciplinary in nature. In this image, you will see the two partners with Reginato on the far right. This image was pulled from Reginato's website for Machinery Laboratory. The translated English version shows that they work in branding, web design, and what they call Creative Lab. Reginato's area of focus is generally in line with the more experimental Creative Lab. The last three images are clearly the final version of my design object based on Thiago's work. And in this poster, I kept pretty much everything the same from what I did before, with the exception of changing the colors and placement of some of the copy. Because I had wanted to try a variety of surfaces, much like Thiago does in his work, I decided to use chalk on a chalkboard, which is not the easiest task to accomplish, but I had a lot of fun doing it. I did struggle with doing some of the finer calligraphy in the previous version, hence why I changed up some of that towards the bottom left. And this last piece was created as an image transfer onto wood. You can see some of the burn marks that I have in there. The lettering on the left was hand done by me using pencil. Secondly, using a light box, tracing over that. And third, following that with the wood burning tool that would allow me to transfer the image.